Well, my name is Matthew Clark. I'm the Bishop of Rochester, Diocese of Rochester, New York. I was ordained in December of 1962, so I'll be 48 years this December. A very simple story, but I think it boils down to the power of the example of the lives of faithful people, including some of my very early lay catechists who taught me catechism as a grammar school student, our parish priests, the sisters and priests in my high school, and then that college experience. I've often said to people that that particular decision to leave college and go to the seminary was probably the most challenging decision in that vocational line. I don't mean to say that I took a decision to accept or petition for ordination lightly. I didn't. But it seemed natural and just the right thing to do, a very peaceful thing to do when the time came. The decision to go in the seminary was a little bit, I would say, more difficult. I started out at Mater Christi Seminary, which was a 2-year college prep seminary in Albany. It was my first seminary experience, 1 semester, and I enjoyed it immensely. I really did. I just was excited about being there. I thought our teachers were excellent. I came on to St. Bernard Seminary to finish college, to do my philosophical studies. And though we don't any longer have St. Bernard Seminary, it was a very wonderful, even prestigious sort of institution founded by Bishop McQuaid. And I formed friendships there that I renewed when I came back here as bishop 20 years later. After my college years, my diocese, Albany, sent me to Rome, North American College in Rome, for my theological studies, which I did at the Gregorian University. And once again, you remember places, I think, because of the people you meet in them, and I have very fond memories of there too. And I also enjoyed the wonderful privilege of living in Rome for those years, and I hope growing through the experience over there. So my seminary experience was very positive. It's one of the great pivotal days of my life, so I have not a lot of detailed memory of the day. My family came over, as did many of my classmates' families from the United States, to be with us in Rome for the ordination. It was in the Church of Cristo Rey, which was a suburban church. We would have been ordained under normal circumstances at St. Peter's, but the Vatican Council was taking place at that time, and the church was otherwise occupied. I remember that it was a very cold morning, and there was no central heating in that church. And because there were 62 of us being ordained, it took about 4.5 or 5 hours. But it was a delightful, joyful experience. The consistent thread through all the years is the very beautiful association that my ordination makes possible with people. By virtue of the fact that I'm a priest, I have an entree and an invitation into the lives of people that I doubt that I would otherwise have. So I'm privileged to share with God's beautiful people many of the great, very significant moments of their lives. And also have been privileged so often during my priesthood to be allowed to know their stories and to walk with them, at least for some time in their lives. And I think the highest expression of that, and symbolic of all of the sharing of the personal stories and sharing the important moments, is when we gather for our public worship at the Eucharist. And when you're in the midst of the people presiding at those celebrations, you just have a deep sense of connection. Not necessarily because you know personally every person there, but you just know this is God's family. This is a people who are graced, who are still struggling to respond to that with generous hearts, and who hit snags and need encouragement. So without a doubt, that's the greatest joy of my life, is association with God's people in that personal and ministerial way. trust the Lord, do your prayer, consult people. If you have a sense that this is your call and people affirm that, that's a pretty good indication you should take another step. And I don't want to make that sound too easy, because it can be a struggle. But I try to encourage people, look, this is an act of faith. If it weren't an act of faith, it wouldn't even attract you as much as it does. So, be careful, think about it, pray. But if you get affirmation from outside and you think your heart wants to go there, test it out. Don't wait forever.